it.
Like, it's like we never record the good stuff. We're just like
because it was a personal conversation. In case I get on reality TV, like that would be fun.
You should apply for Big Brother.
We've had this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to watch. Even if you only get the first episode, just like you could try.
Okay. Well, next time they're asking for Canadians, send me a link. I'll do my best.
So hi everyone.
Hi, hello.
I just
welcome.
Try and fix this. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, that face is worse.
My icon.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, so Sonia's camera's having technical difficulties. YouTube exclusive. I feel like someone should crop that picture of you, Sonia, and that should just be their Zoom background.
Ask those what are those people? Found footage.
And then it's just you. Just serious.
Bitch left us.
No, I know.
Turn it off and on again.
I had to like restart it.
Well, hello again, everyone.
Hello.
Jessica, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking just Pabst Blue. Generally, like, so Chris is home for a little longer this time, so thank you. And yeah, whenever he goes to the store, he just grabs me Pabst.
Nice. Sonia, now that we can see you, what are you drinking?
I'm just drinking coffee and water. So for like the next 4 episodes, that's what I'll be drinking. I'm the only adult. So like I have to be responsible at all times. Like it's kind of bullshit. Like it's
the worst.
It's the worst.
I'm just drinking Smirnoff Ice Light Raspberry.
Oh, Don's drinking.
I know,
man, it needs to happen. Like, I don't care if it's not Friday. Like, I'm just drinking.
Your kids done school, aren't they?
Every day's Friday.
Yeah, the other one isn't until next Monday. He has one exam, just one.
No, like it's summer vacation, isn't it?
No.
Oh, never mind. I'm like, what? You're fine.
No,
You have to get up tomorrow.
Like 2 weeks. Like
elementaries ends on like the 26th or 27th. Although his grad is
28th.
Yeah, so but his grad's on the 19th. But yeah.
No, my kids go to school all summer. Because we homeschool. So they don't get a break. And then Bella's getting their grad at the end of August.
Nice.
Yes, suckers.
No, when I homeschooled Ernest, it was the same. Like it's like we're doing like 2 hours of schooling. Like your whole day is a break.
Yeah, like I could do it.
Like we're not taking time off in the summer. We might like do more outdoorsy activities, but we're not taking time off.
Yeah. Well, like kids should be doing like, I'm not gonna say school, but some like keeping that information in your brain learning over the summers, like because they lose it all and then they spend like 3 months trying to catch up again. Like it's a waste. Like build that momentum and keep on to it.
The issue is
the break.
Is these parents, the parents still have to work their regular jobs all summer. And so they just put their kids in things like day camp and usually the cheapest ones. And they're there to entertain your kids. They're not educational tools. Sometimes they are.
This is a bad cream.
Oh no, that one's worse.
It was fine during pre-drinks. What happened?
I don't know. This is like I smelled a fart. What if you stink?
YouTube exclusives. Someone should make like a folder.
Face she has.
Yeah, I'm
just gonna like sit like this the whole time and hope for the best.
No, you gotta do like your blue steel, like
it, and then it'll freeze.
How does he does that? He does like I can't do it. It hurts my mouth. I got like a fucking overbite. Oh no. Like this is like whatever. I'm keeping it. Whatever. It looks like I'm picking my nose. It's fine. It's fine. And like I got sunburnt today and my nose is like
if you're watching on YouTube, every time she's frozen, I hope you took a drink.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay frozen this time because
wait, if you're frozen, are you able to do the wheel of
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's do the wheel with your frozen ass.
Let's do the wheel.
You see, we're good.
Okay.
Just like, I don't understand. I think it's like StreamYard or something because it's like the lowest whatever. It's like my internet is way better.
Have you used the camera on like other programs?
No, it's only with you guys.
Okay, so maybe the camera's just starting to have issues too. That's another.
Yeah. Because if it's StreamYard, like one of us should have a problem.
I mean, it could still be StreamYard. Like maybe we need to try a different program, like maybe Facebook or something, and see if like during a video call she freezes or something. I don't know.
Yeah. What's your earliest memory?
Ooh.
Well, this is gonna be a short topic.
Well, I'm sure we can build on it.
No, that's it. We are not straying this time.
This is a 10-minute episode, guys. 10 minutes.
Like, this was my earliest memory. Okay, bye, guys.
Speed run.
I shared it with you. We're all good.
Opinionated Lushes speed run.
That's our pre-drink on Patreon.
So does anyone have a memory to share first?
Sorry, my husband is like in the vicinity. Move.
YouTube exclusive.
Yeah.
Edit it out. It's fine.
My earliest memory would be stop it. I'm on camera. I'm not. Okay.
We can hear them.
Yeah, I know. They can hear you. Okay, earliest memory would be sitting in a high chair, eating cornflakes. And I don't know why cornflakes. I shouldn't have been eating cornflakes at 3. or 2, 3. I don't fucking know how old I was.
Cornflakes is a safe food at 3.
Yeah. You have teeth, you swallow, you can hold up your head.
I don't know. I was in a high chair. I feel like that's pretty freaking young.
Yeah, 3 you're in a high chair.
3 can be in a high chair.
In a high chair at 3.
Not all kids are.
Because we were lazy.
Really? Yeah. I feel like the lazy parents are the parents that keep their kids in high chairs.
Yeah, and in
what I mean?
Playpens and stuff.
Yeah, like the ones that like just utilize those to like keep their kids. It's like
in the same
chasing.
Yeah. Like sometimes that's good. Like sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to be able to put them in something.
Yeah.
But if you do that all the time, I think that's lazy parenting. But yeah, you're probably still pretty young.
Yeah, I don't know how old I was, but I was eating cornflakes. And I'm pretty sure my father was there. I don't really have too many memories of that dude. So
that's probably why you hold on to that one. Like probably why that one's like, even though, it's been decades, it's still the youngest memory.
Yeah, that's one of my I think that's my earliest memory.
I don't think I have anything that young.
That's okay. Mine isn't that young. Mine is 5 years old. And it's kind of like a spooky story. I was 5 and my dad recently passed away. And I woke up because I like wet the bed. And I was like, and then when I woke up, there was like a shadow down the hall, 2 shadows. So like there was a man shadow and then like a child-sized shadow like down the hall in the bathroom. And I was like, Mom, I had like an accident. And she's like, well, you just come into my room, like change and then like come into my room. I was like, oh, I can't, like I need help. Like I was too terrified, and for some reason, me saying there's a man in my room, like there's a man in the hallway, did not.
Face her. She was like, okay. Like,
yeah,
she's like, yeah, I see them too. Like I don't.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
All the time. Like that's no big deal.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay, and then like the shadow started coming closer to me, and like I was on the top bunk, so like the shadow's face was able to like, however top bunk high is, like that's how tall. Well, the little child-sized shadow stayed in the bathroom. And then I like just rolled over and then like was like, just go back to sleep, go back to sleep, go back to sleep. And then that's the end of it. Like I guess I went back to sleep because I don't remember anything else.
Damn.
So like my earliest memory has been like traumatic.
Yeah, fair.
I wasn't saving my traumatic one. I was saving like the cute ones. I was
like, no, that's like my earliest memory is like right after my dad died and like me seeing things. Like, it was, a mental break.
I've been having a midlife crisis since I was 3 years old. Like,
yeah, beat that.
New record. I'm just trying to speed run life. Like, I don't.
Oh man.
My earliest memory, I was probably 4. I want to say like kinder, like JK age. So yeah, like 4. And I guess I was living at my mom's apartment. I had a water bed at the time. So I was 4-year-old with this big water bed because I think someone gave it to us. And I had this big wooden toy box that like an adult could climb inside. Like it was huge. And I guess my mom's boyfriend's father or something made it for me. And I remember having this is not even a real memory, it's a dream. I remember a dream I had at that age where I was laying in my bed and someone was talking from my toy box. And I just remember like being scared. So I remember my toy box talking to me, and that is my earliest memory. Was a nightmare I had.
Scary ones, like nightmare.
Yeah.
Early memory.
Like they stuck with us.
Your first memory is just trauma.
Like, yeah.
So you're like, fuck, I gotta wake up. There's there's danger.
Well, I have like, I don't know if they're memories because they're from when I was like a lot younger, like, but I don't know if they're stories people told me and I like made up memories for them, like sitting having coffee with my dad and stuff, and like we would like share yellow suckers, like there's a specific thing, and I don't know if those were my memories or someone told me their story, so like they're pretend
it warped
memories.
into a memory, like you heard it so much, it like
memories are so fucked. Like they're so wrong, but feel so right about them.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Or like when you remember something a certain way and that's not the way it happened, and then people are telling you you're wrong, and you're like, no, like I was there, I know, and they're like, no, that's not what happened.
Yeah,
I know, like you feel crazy, but your brain's like, no, this is how it is. It's like, why are you being wrong on purpose? This is misinformation. Okay, this is fake news.
Fox News.
Fake news is your brain's memory. Fake news. It's not real. And that's why I screenshot everything, by the way.
So you know. So you have that proof. So I do have a younger memory. It was still when my dad was alive, but it wasn't with him. It was one of my older sisters, and I went for a sleepover, and she washed my hair in Dep shampoo. Do you guys remember Dep shampoo? It's like the best smelling shampoo ever. You can't ever see it anymore. It's nowhere else. You'll never see it again. And and then she did like my hair in these cute little pigtails. It was my dad was sick, so I slept over, and she gave us a bath, did my hair so we could go visit. So like so that was a real memory.
That was a real one.
First sleepover. I don't know. Again, I was like 3 or 4 or something. My mom had an apartment on Ottawa Street. above a beauty supply store. And it was this one bedroom. But like I had my mom's friend's kids sleep over, and she had like 2 sons and a daughter. And then we had the neighbor kid like sleep over too. And we had one of those pull-out couches. And like we all like dogpiled into this pull-out couch bed, which by the way are the most uncomfortable fucking beds ever.
Always,
And like
yes.
watching TV in the living room, and that was my very first sleepover. And I think the movie we watched was Kindergarten Cop.
It's not a tumor.
That's not the same movie.
Yes, it is.
Kindergarten Cop is.
Who is
like
your
that?
daddy, and
Yes.
what does he do?
Yeah,
Yes.
and he's like, "Is it a tumor?" And he's like, "It's not a tumor." Like
Yeah.
that's the same movie.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like young memories.
I have another crazy memory.
Yeah, go for it.
But my mind is fucking insane. Okay, so it's not a young. It was actually like a few years ago before we moved out.
Yeah, it was young.
Yeah, it was young. I was young then. So young. So again, I woke up and I didn't think Kyle was real. Like it was like for like an hour I had to talk to myself like, no, like he's your husband, you guys have kids together. And then I was like, no, he's not real, he's pretend. I was like, okay, but what about the kids? And then my other mind was like, no, they're real. I was like,
Your
then who
other
the fuck
mind?
is I was having a conversation with myself. Like I had to talk myself out of there.
Disco Elysium, but like in real life. Like
Yeah.
it's just your head talking to your head.
Yeah, and it was just
You
like
just went through a mini
so vivid.
psychosis. It's cool.
I was,
Like,
yeah. And I was like, no. And I was like, oh, I should just wake him up and we could talk about it. And my other mind's like, no, don't. Because then he'll like prove that
think you're
he's
crazy
not
and
real.
like yeah.
Yeah. And then so I just like, okay, I'll get out of bed then. And then like I had paralysis. And I was like, no, you can't get out of bed. Like you have to stay here in this like whatever. I was like, oh my fuck. And like so I was so annoyed with other Sonia. And I was like, this is so fucking annoying. Like you need to relax. Like, and I wasn't high or anything. I had to do this completely sober.
That's the worst when you're crazy and you're not on drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason for it. Like,
just raw dogging life and all of a sudden hallucinating. Like, what the fuck?
It's because you need to, man. Raw dog in life, you need some little.
I didn't consent to this. Like
right?
paranoia? What? I didn't consent. No, thank you.
No, and it was just like sane Sonia like couldn't get rid of crazy Sonia, no matter like how hard she tried.
When you try to rationalize you're crazy, but you still are like, but what if?
Mm-hmm. Like I was making good points.
Like I'm not gonna say names, but I too had a psychosis episode a few years ago. No, I don't think anyone noticed in my house because I was keeping very quiet too. I was like, hush, hush. I know things that they won't believe me. So like I gotta wait till I have evidence to back up my paranoia, you know? And I thought someone was coming to my house to kill me. So like I would just go back and forth to all my windows and doors. And because I was like, they're coming. I don't know when. So I have to be prepared because no one will believe me until I can point to them and say, see, I told you they're coming.
Yeah.
And then in my head while I'm doing this, I'm like, this is fucking insane. I'm like, you're fucking dumb. Like you're just doing laps. Like no, who's gonna risk jail time? Like no one cares.
Like you're not worth it.
Yeah. I was like, they don't care enough about you to kill you. Like that was it was like you live like near a busy street. Like there's lots of people around. Like it's not you live in a full house. Like I don't understand. But I was still doing those laps for a couple days. I was like, just in case. Just in case.
Oh. Being crazy is fun. And it hasn't happened.
Actually, it's quite common. like to go through mini psychosis. Like 1 in 5 people go through at
Oh
least
yeah, I know.
like a bunch of minis. Like it's common, but no one talks about it, right?
Yeah, like
What we do.
We talk
we
about
don't give a
everything.
shit.
Yeah,
We brag that we're crazy. But like,
yeah.
we're fucking nuts.
Earliest psychosis
episode. That's not my earliest. I have way earlier ones.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
I don't ever remember too many of mine. But I'll have marks or like there's bruising or something, like there's something to remind me, or there was like something in my bed and I was like, well, how the fuck that happens? Because I went through a mini psychosis.
You're lucky enough to disassociate.
Yeah.
Wow.
I disassociate when I'm not crazy. Like I disassociate hardcore all the time. Man, I think I've been on this podcast and I've disassociated in the middle of it.
You're like, did we fucking record or what?
Just go back and watch a few YouTubes and be like, oh, that bitch is not even with them. She's staring at the screen. She's not even there though.
She like nods, like she just knows. And then she's like, where the fuck was I? Like, and then you see that she like comes to. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, like I'm just like Chris does. Always try to hide it from Chris because like Chris has not seen much crazy. You know, he's seen me crazy for sure.
Has he met his mother?
Yeah, but she's like, it's all the, you know, perception, right? So like, he hasn't seen the crazy where they don't care about what it looks like. You know, that kind of crazy.
Crazy.
The crazy. Well, like when you know, the average person when they think that. And so like I remember like Chris would come upstairs because he'd be coming to grab a drink or something, and I'd be doing the laps, and I would like see him and like pause and like pretend I was like cleaning or like something. So like I was still aware enough that what I was doing was insane. So
but you still had to do it. Like you had the impulse, like you couldn't control the impulse, you had to do it.
Well, yeah, I was saving my family. Like
that's right. Yeah.
Like my family was gonna die. It was for his benefit, basically.
Both.
He only knew the stress that rested on my shoulders.
Like the pretending that you're like cleaning and also saving the family. It's all for his benefit.
Oh man.
Yeah, to keep his peace of mind and keeping him safe. You do everything's for him.
So that's probably why I still remember. I couldn't disassociate. I still had to.
Yeah, you're too busy keeping everybody safe.
Yeah.
A lot of my like crazy town things happening is always with shadow people. I know we talked about like the fear of shadow people, but that's because like they keep coming into my life and not leaving me alone. Like, you know, the inconvenience of shadow people is not ideal.
Like just move. Like just move out of the way, guys. You're home. You're too close.
Yeah. Like I don't believe in ghosts or anything, but like when people like a lot of people are like, oh, it's ghosts. Like, no, like I'm fucking crazy. And like when people are like, oh, there's figures, it's ghosts. And they're like, oh, sage. I'm like, no, that doesn't do anything. I'm just crazy. There's no spirits here, only in my brain.
Well, the thing is like the brain is built to recognize like humans and faces and like that kind of stuff. So like it makes sense that like if a human's gonna hallucinate, they're gonna hallucinate some sort of people, whether it's shadow people or like full people or just a person personified something. So like it makes sense. It sucks that they're shadowy people. But
yeah, I haven't had one in like such a long time, which is wonderful. Yeah, the older I get, the less I have, which is nice, you know, like I'm getting other issues, but like
your brain can only handle like so many like problems at once. They're like, hey, we gotta like lower these, but then we gotta heighten and add a little of this.
Yes, yeah. Like the last time where I didn't think Kyle was real, like that was the last one. Like it's been so long, like a break. And like same with Kyle, he's crazy too. And we fucking had kids, okay? Like, you can imagine how fucking messed up our kids are. And yes, like night terrors or waking dreams or something where you're like awake and you see things. Like, usually it's like spiders or whatever. And he tries to attack them with a fucking pillow. And his pillow's a fucking piece of paper. Okay, like, yeah, okay, bud, you're gonna cause some damage with that. And he hasn't had one of those in a really long time too. Like, we're getting too old to
your body can't handle it.
Yeah, doesn't want to give us like heart attacks or anything. Like, just waiting.
It's funny because like now that you say that, it's like, yeah, I think as I get older too, like I had night terrors a lot. Like Chris got so used to like my breathing pattern when it would change that he would like wake me up. Like he'd be like, just like he would know that like there's about to be a freak out. But like they've lessened over time too. I also remember having more hallucinations when I was a kid as well.
Yeah, like
people just thought I was being funny or like having a nightmare and just awake. And I'm like, no, you don't see the floating heads? Like they're there. Like I'm telling you, like, I'm sorry that I'm 7 and you don't believe me, but you're just blind.
Yeah, you're just not seeing them. Oh my god. And Kara, she had night terrors. Like, she would just be screaming in the middle of the night. And then like, so I put a TV in her room at 4. Not a single fucking night terror since. Like, TV's okay. People are like, oh, that's bad for your kid. I'm like, no, now my kid sleeps.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Fucking Ernest, okay, or my son's pediatrician, Ernest pediatrician, was like when we first went to her because our family doctor sent us to her because she thought he was having tics and that he had possible ADHD. It turns out it was epilepsy and autism and ADHD this whole time. But we go to this pediatrician. And this pediatrician is like, you need to cut off his video games and take a TV out of his room. And I'm like, that's literally what emotionally regulates him.
Yeah.
Like
there's no
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like the only thing he can focus on is an 1.5-hour movie. If you try to get him to focus on anything else for an 1.5 hours, it's not happening. So it relaxes him, he goes to sleep. So shut up. Like,
yeah. I've said that too. I'm like, you don't live her life. You don't know. Like, this has helped. Like, we're living proof.
It's not a one size fits all. Like, not as one kid. Like, that's the thing. They all like, no. It just, that's how it is. No, it's not. No. Different strokes, like, different folks. Like, it's just different.
Well, it's like with my youngest, like she's on like she has her iPad all the time. Like literally, we do not go. That doesn't mean she's even on her iPad all the time. It just has to come. It has to be available at all times.
Yeah.
And half of the stuff she does on the iPad has helped her English, like helped her speaking, helped her spelling, helped her reading. It's like she wouldn't be where she was at without this fucking piece of machinery. So just shut up.
Shut up.
It's
because they're comparing to the extremists, like kids that are so addicted, they're no longer eating, they're not sleeping, they're not, but like this device is helping with those things. It's helping regulate eating, it's helping regulate sleeping, it's helping with social, it helps with depression, it helps with anxiety. Like, you aren't understanding this person. And then we're just like, I have no problem telling doctors that they're dumb. I'm like, no, you're no longer our doctor. Like, I have given up on so many doctors. Like,
this fucking pediatrician also signed the letter during the midst of like the peak of COVID that schools should reopen. I don't know if you remember in Ontario, that doctor's letter that went around. Yeah, where they're like, the mental health of children after these 3 months of school closures needs to, like, you know, she was one of those. And I was like, half your patients are sick children. Are you dumb? Like what the fuck?
I never understood, like, oh, the mental health. Like, are parents not spending time with their kids?
No.
Like, that's, I'm like they're like socializing. Like, why aren't you spending time with your kids then? Like, why aren't you teaching them? Why aren't you doing activities with them? Why aren't you making their life easier? Like, this is a stressful time. Ignorance is bliss. Like, make it a holiday.
Statistically, millennials and now Gen Z is becoming parents, you know, Gen Z have spend more time with our children than previous generations on average. But due to like the rising cost of shit, we are now spending less and less time with our children and having to outsource it over like the past 15 years.
Yeah. I understand why people needed the schools open, but it's just like, oh, my kids are like struggling because of this. It's just like, then step up, do what you need to do for your fucking kids. Like we were grateful.
Okay, so
like it was,
I get that, but here's the thing. Yeah, like there's shitty parents out there. The thing that I thought schools should be open, like not right, obviously not 3 months, like, but when they did open, I understood why it was important because like there's kids that have to go home to like abusive homes, and like school was their break. Like, and I got that. That part I understood. But like as a health issue, no. Like there should have been like a middle ground or something, but like
it would have been a different social safety net that actually was out there for abuse victims. Like if abuse victims weren't afraid to leave, they would leave.
Well, a lot of abuse victims, not just children, but like, you know, domestic, like wives were still getting beaten even more now because they were stuck with their husbands who couldn't go to work. It was a mess.
Oh yeah, it's because there's not a lot of resources for them. Like where are they gonna go? A shelter? Like that's the point. Like so if there was a wider range of like abuse supports, that wouldn't have even been an issue.
No.
Like even now though, with the increasing cost of like living and everything, there's tons of people in relationships that are being abused. And they can't leave.
There's people that are not even with other people. Like they break up and they still live together because they can't afford to be separated. They just can't.
Oh, Chris and I have even talked about it. Like we're like realistically, like if one of us ever wanted to opt out of the marriage, like what would our plan be? Because like I'm the type of person that always has to know what's gonna happen. And so I was like realistically, we would still have to live together. We'd have to co-parent with 2 disabled children. We couldn't afford to get two places that are capable to take care of both children. He travels for work. Like so like it was you know, like realistically like that would be how it is. Yeah. And we're not even like that broke, you know. So like for broke people, like you're fucked. Like it sucks.
Yeah. Like nothing, if me and David ever like separated, literally nothing would change. Not a single thing. Because he already sleeps in the basement. We don't sleep together just because like we like our own space anyway. So he would still have the basement. He would still be paying all the bills while I stay home with Caleb. Like that would be it. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
Like what's the alternative? I go get a job, have to find a place, and then he would have to pay for someone to take care on his days, like that he works. Like it costs way more.
Okay, but this is why it's hilarious because 11 years ago, I was literally in that position where I had to leave my ex, get a job, take care of my son, pay for daycare. I was going to school, I was working, and I was paying for my own apartment and doing all that. And fucking 11 years ago, it was still shitty, but it was at least possible.
Yeah, it
now it's impossible. It is
literally 10 years ago. I could have done it.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, like 12 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, 10, even 10. I could have gotten a 2-bedroom apartment and been able off a minimum wage job, and still been able. Like it would have been tight. It would not have been
100%. It was tight, but you can do it.
Yeah.
Now with minimum wage higher,
hotel like apartment, it would have been a shitty like shoebox, but it would have been doable.
Yeah, I got a shitty shoebox downtown. Kyle got the house. I got a shitty apartment downtown. Little closet size, me and my 4 kids, and it was doable. Like we struggled, but we did it. Oh fuck, that's right. That's me. I have to. I'll be right back. I'm like, oh, they'll stop in a second. No, I have to do it. Edit it out.
It's okay. We can't even see you, so
it's like she never left.
Exactly. We could still talk, and it would be like she's still here. She wouldn't even know. We could be talking about her.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to burp. It's not coming.
Those carbonated drinks, man.
Oh, I swallowed it.
Oh, yummy.
Okay.
Earliest memories.
Earliest memories. Well, when she comes back, I was gonna talk about my apartment. Not like I've had a shoebox apartment, but oh my god, my favorite apartment that the landlords stole all my stuff out of. Oh my god. They
Was
literally
it the landlord special?
the extra landlord special.
Oh, the deluxe.
I lived in Westdale, so like bougie area, but none of the doors worked on my apartment.
That's how it works.
I could like sit here and you wouldn't even know I came back.
I know.
You said that we could have talked, me and Jessica, and no one would have known you left. Like,
yeah. Like we didn't even have to say anything. I could have just muted and left and like it'd be fine.
I was just saying, like my apartment, one of my apartments I lived in as a single mother to my one child, it was a big apartment. Like my bedroom was bigger than my bedroom in the house I have. Like it was huge, and it was above like a second cup. It was in Westdale. But this apartment was so weird because none of the one bedroom didn't have a closet at all. And it was just like I don't know, it was just a really weird layout. And also none of the doors besides the front door and the back door worked. So for like every other door you had to like latch it closed. And because Ernest was only like 4, he couldn't reach the latch. So he just always went to the bathroom with the door open. Like that was normal in my apartment because like no one else was there. And that took a couple years to work on getting him to close the door for privacy.
We're like, oh, like you could close it. It's fine. Close the door.
Yeah, close the door. He would just like forget because he was so used to like going just right as he has to pee and not having to worry about the couple extra seconds. Yeah.
Like,
but it was doable. That was the point.
It was doable. Yeah. But like now, which would be awesome. Like Kyle and I should break up. And then we can start seeing other people, and then we can all move in together, and then like we won't have to worry about nothing. We'd be
like
fine.
a giant polycule.
Yeah, like fucking whole community of like relationship. Like it's good. That sounds like a good plan.
That's pretty much what people are doing now. Like they're like, we have to get like 3 or 4 people we want to fuck that will pay rent.
Right?
What relationships just don't work anymore.
Like I would totally give a few other people handies if it meant I didn't have to go
like
to
have
work.
A little reverse harem, just like you and like 3 guys
or women. I don't care. Like I will give whoever I have to do.
Whatever gets the bills paid.
That's right. Whatever makes us I don't have to work so much.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ideally, like if I could like work half the amount of shifts I work, like that's fine.
Yeah. The dream.
Do
you remember back when a single husband could pay for his family and children to all stay home?
And he could work at McDonald's?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could work at a nuclear power plant with no degree.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, and we got cocaine. Good old days.
Oh my god, the fucking good old. No wonder boomers are so pissed and entitled. Like I would be
had
too.
It all.
Yeah. Like and like old appliances. Like you ever like watch like old 50s like appliances, 50s,
the
60s?
Fridges?
I was like, what happened? How did we get less?
They had like the lazy Susans inside the fridge for fun things.
How did we get less functioning?
The super organized cupboards, like that's my fucking dream. Egg slot?
Like there was an actual like thing where you just put your eggs in. They don't have that anymore.
You have to make them, get them from Etsy.
Yeah, you have to. I bought mine from Amazon. But like, but like, they used to have fridges that had it built in.
And like the multifunctional like breakfast like bar things, like you put the coffee on, the eggs on, the toast on, like everything on one griddle thing, like, and it flips and flops, and it was like we're going to the Jetsons, but now we don't.
Ovens were built in with toaster ovens, so if you only wanted a small meal, you just turned on the toaster oven. If you wanted a big meal, you turned on the big oven. But if you wanted to keep your big meal heated without cooking it, you put the big meal into the toaster oven after it was cooked.
Yeah. It was amazing. Amazing time to be alive. And we missed out. Now we're overworked.
They had can openers and walls. Like they were built in houses.
Yeah.
Can openers. Like
they had a milkman. They had a man come to your house to give you milk.
And Coke. There was like Coca-Cola in jars. They had Coca-Cola men.
And then they took your glass jars.
Right, recycling, and then they reuse them. The planet was better for it.
Yeah. The plastic was too much.
Yeah, like everything had lead in it, but like still.
That actually is a pro. You know what? I used to think that was a negative. But now I'm like, maybe a little brain damage.
But that's only for kids. It's fine. Once you're a grown-up, you can have all the lead you want. You're fine.
You still lose IQ points.
Yeah, but you don't need it anymore.
Whatever, at 40, I'm already like done with my IQ. It doesn't matter.
I don't need it anymore.
Walls of lead paint. Like I'm good.
A little of dumbness made us all happier. You know what I mean?
But the problem is people are so dumb now. Like they're getting extra dumb, but there's no happiness.
Now they're anger. It's like there's like a variation of dumb.
It's like being a dementia patient. Like after you like forget a bunch of stuff, then you get angry. Like,
but then you remember it again and you feel euphoric. You know, you get that nostalgia feeling. That I need that feeling.
That's why I still have Pokemon cards.
I feel like that's the issue. It's like a toddler is like, you give them a ball, they're happy. You take away the ball, they're angry. It's like, just give people like a chance at a life. Like the idea of a life is even enough. And they'll just be dumb and happy and just live their shitty lives. But because that's taken away and we know that we're not going to get good lives, that it's like now we're just angry, and then the dumb people get angry at the wrong things because they're dumb. But like the emotion is right.
Like where it's directed to, very wrong. Very wrong.
It's like women that find out their husbands cheat and then get mad at the woman.
Yeah, the other woman.
Yeah, that's what they are. It's like you have the right to be angry. It's just not there.
Person, come on, yeah. Like, just shift it to the other person. Like, come on.
Oh, it shouldn't be that hard to not be like that, but you know, it is. It is what it is. Just start giving them cocaine.
Oh my god! Don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah, don't tempt me. I try to like my earliest like weed memory. I think I was like 18.
Oh wow!
Yeah. I didn't start until later. I was too busy being utterly depressed to leave the house. Fair. So like, you know, took a while.
Yeah. So how did it happen? Explain the memory.
I don't really remember too much. I don't even remember the people. I don't talk to these people anymore. And so I had Kara. I was an adult, and she was with her grandma. And then I was hanging out with people I met this first time. They were friends of a friend. And he's like, oh, like, let's get high. I was like, oh, okay. And then I did. And I was like, okay, like I'm supposed to breathe in real deep. And then I coughed so fucking much. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, who coughs this much? But it's okay. Everybody else coughed that much too. It was fine. It was fine. I felt like an idiot, but it was fine. And then I got high and it was fine. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, I like being high way more than I like being drunk. I've been drinking since I was like 12. Like, it's like, not, but like, I was like, oh, this is fun. Like, so then whenever I had the opportunity after that, I got high.
Fair.
Yeah. that was my early, and it was fine. Like we were at somebody's like dingy ass gross basement,
Yeah,
like where most firsts happen. And it was like, okay.
A place you shouldn't have ever been, but you were there anyway. Like,
yeah, like, and they were older, but not, I was 18, so it's fine. But there's been plenty of times where I've been at older people's stingy basements and I was only like 14. Like it was very problematic.
I love how relatable it is to like our generation, especially. We're all just like, the 30-year-old neighbor's basement where he would buy his booze and we just hang out on the weird couch downstairs.
Always brown.
Always! Oh my god! Like, where are they getting them?
There was always a green carpet.
Always green carpet, brown couch, and it was like always wet. Like, like the was like,
I'd like to assume it was cold. Okay.
Like a more like wet basement. Like like it's just and then like and like you're like, oh, like I need to wear my shoes in the house, but like you're like, oh no, and then you're like, oh, I have orthopedic insoles. I have to wear my shoes because like I don't want to step in your stuff, your squishy rug. Okay, like that's not. I've done it too many times. I don't want to do it anymore. Like I have a limit. I've reached it.
No, that sounds very specific, but yes.
Too many times. Like you just like, I don't know. Too many gross basements.
Too many.
Always smoke too. There's always like layers of cigarette smoke. Like
the yellow nicotine walls.
It's like you're like, depending on how high you are, is like what part of your eyeball, like the first, like the cloud hits. Like walking through. Oh, good memories. The earliest memories.
Okay. Dawn, what's your first weed memory?
I was 19 or 20.
Oh my god.
And I was with a few friends and we all smoked, and I just remember eating a bunch of mini donuts that I got at 7-Eleven. Me and my one friend, my best friend, his name was Tristan, and like we would eat and then we would just laugh as we're eating these donuts, and we cleared this whole friggin' huge ass container of those mini donuts. There was like cinnamon sugar dusted, there was the powdered sugar, and then like the chocolate dip. They're the stalest motherfucking things ever.
So good though. So fucking good.
Even better. Hi.
We got 2 huge packages and there was like 4 people there, but me and my one friend cleared them both. Like, and the other 2 were just watching us. And the one girl was just talking and she just wouldn't shut the fuck up. I remember. She just kept going. I don't even know what she was saying. I couldn't keep up with my mind, but it's just like, these donuts are really good. And then we were just laughing. Me and Tristan were just eating and laughing. That was it. That was my first time I ever smoked weed.
That sounds like a great time.
It was a great time. But then I never got my hands on it again because I always had my kid. So that was it.
It's true.
What was your first time?
She's gonna say like 11.
No. It's 14. It's 14. 14.
You're like, wow, you guys are so old. Like,
I was like 4 or 5 years older than when I started.
Yeah, because we were like adults. We started heavy drinking, man. Like, what do you?
I was heavy drinking at 12 as well. Like it was. So it took 2 years to escalate to green drugs.
The green drugs.
The green drugs. I happened to like, there was kid in my grade. I was in grade 9, and he his dad happened to just grow weed, and they lived in like the slum area, like the poor neighborhood, and so I started dating him, and so I started doing drugs. Like I was dating a drug dealer and a drug dealer's son. So it just kind of like happened, I guess. It's like, oh, we're doing drugs now.
We're doing drugs. Like, even though I was one of the poors. My like friends at the time were like, every time we hung out, it was like a chips and pop church party. Every fucking time, like we'd just hang out, eat chips, and drink pop, and that was it. It wasn't until I like started hanging with like random people, and then they had random friends where I started like doing sketchier shit. I was like, okay, like I can like expand my horizon.
I feel like it's a city versus like big city versus small city. Because like small city, I also did those church things, but most of those people were the upper or the middle to upper middle class kids. Those were the ones that tended to be part of the church and going to the church
Oh
things.
yeah, they were. I was one of the poors. They weren't one of the poors.
I was one of the poors going to those things too. But then the actual poors were like sitting at the park doing drinking and doing drugs. That was what we all did.
Yeah. I hung out with too many people with money for the longest time. And then
they trick you into thinking you can have the same. Little do we know.
Little do we know. But like my brothers were the poorest too, and they did all those things. Like the drinking and the stealing cars and like, you know, what you do when you're like a teenage delinquent. And they never like invited me to do those things. Like, like they were very good. Yeah, they were very good protective brothers. Like their friends weren't allowed near us doing that stuff.
Really?
Like,
they're just like, no, she's a narc.
Don't tell on us. Don't tell. But like my brothers are like 10 and 6 years older. So like obviously, but even when they were in their 20s and I was like 15, 16, they wouldn't buy me booze. Like, what the fuck, guys?
I used to buy my I actually I think I only did it once, but I did buy my younger brother booze, and for the record, he was like 17, so he was like, actually no, I think he was 18 actually. Like he was on the cusp, and and I could get more babysitting bang for my buck by buying the booze versus giving dollars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they were always protective, and they didn't like let their friends, like, even though they came to the house high, they were never allowed to do that stuff like at the house. Which nice. I guess it's good. Like my brothers were good parents. But like when Nally got older and into that stuff, my mom bought her booze, never bought me booze. I feel like there's like some favoritism there.
Maybe just a little.
Booze and cigarettes. I was never allowed those things. Like my brothers allowed those things. My younger sister allowed those things. I was never allowed anything like that.
Okay. I have an alternate theory for this, knowing nothing about you know the depth of what I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of it viewing as like favoritism for everyone else, maybe you were the beacon of hope. And she was like, I'm not going to give her those cancer sticks. Like, I'm not going to. And so you were you were being shielded.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That actually makes sense because then I became the disappointment and she stopped talking to me.
There you go.
Like that makes perfect fucking sense.
She had hope and you let her down. I don't know.
I let her down. Like it was like I was like a teen mom and she was like, okay, whatever, shit happens. But then when I was like 20 and had my second kid, she's like, no, I'm done with you. Fucking, I don't care that you're getting married to this person. You're starting a life, whatever.
She's like, you were supposed to be job daughter, not mom daughter. You can't be both.
I went to work. I went to school. I raised my kid.
We all know you can't have it all.
You can't. No. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Makes perfect sense now. That theory is spot on. But it was funny because like she thought I was on weed the entire time already. So I had really bad anxiety and depression. And my whole entire family just thought I was high. 11.
I know if I was, maybe I wouldn't feel this.
Maybe I'd be spending more time with you guys. Maybe I wouldn't be so cranky and tired and just eating cookies all day. Oh, earliest memories. One of my favorite memories of Dawn Marie is like we would save all of our pennies and go to the store, the corner store, and buy Sprite, Excel, Polar Ice gum, and Score chocolate bars.
Yes.
That was like,
and then sometimes we get Ruffles, sour cream, and onion chips. Sometimes
I didn't. Dawn Marie did when she got extra money because I was the poorest. She was not.
I was the one with the money.
Yeah, I had to like work for my money. Dawn Marie did not. She got whatever she wanted. Yeah, she got nanny, and Natalie got nanny too. Like nanny gave Natalie money.
No, Nanny bought Natalie brand new Nike shoes and Adidas shorts and bought me stuff, but got Sonia nothing. Like nothing.
I was like everyone's disappointment.
Like at Foot Locker, like that was like rich, like for the rich kids at the time. Yeah. And my nanny took me and Natalie, and she just like spoiled us. And then I was like, "Oh, what about Sonia?" And she's like, "No."
Yeah, not that bitch. But it was cool because like her mom liked me, so it was fine. The only like mom that did for a long time.
You were her second daughter.
Yeah, it was like one of my earliest memories is with like Dawn Marie. Like that's like from the beginning of time has been Dawn Marie to like now. Like I don't have many memories where she's not involved.
That's so nice to have.
I guess, it's Dawn Marie. Like
yeah, but it's like that. Like you have your person. You know?
Like there's always been like, oh, remember when we did this? Like, or when I had this going on, and then they were always there. Like every milestone in my life, like they were a part of. Like, yeah, it is nice because I could be like, hey, remember like that when we did that.
Yeah.
And then we can have like back and forth. But then sometimes I feel bad because like we'll do these little stories and then like you're not part of them.
That's okay. I like hearing them because it's like your guys' lore. Like I'm learning what's canon.
Like what actually happened, what didn't.
Like I totally ship Danya, like I ship you guys.
Ship it.
So I enjoy hearing the stories, and like sometimes I'll like pretend I was there.
Oh, so like you play them back in your head?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember
memories.
Okay, and I remember always telling Dawn like I don't like Ruffles, but she just never listens.
And she'd steal like Sonia's Polar Ice gum. Like that's just how it went.
Obviously, and I didn't even like it. It was just to show, like hierarchy.
Yeah, like a pecking order of her fucking chicken, and you're like, duh.
My gum.
Oh, one of my earliest memories without Dawn Marie. This is before I met Dawn Marie. I was 6 and I was walking downtown. Because like what young kids used to do. And this man invited me into his house. And I said, okay. And I went and like we made cookies and he gave me an Anne Frank book and told me all about Anne Frank. And
that was nice of him.
Yeah. So I learned all about these terrible things at a young age, which is fine. I guess I'm not too scarred for it. But like that could have gone so much worse. Like I was just like, sure, I'll go into your house.
I'll make Stop letting autistic people just walk around. Give them training first.
This was like, oh my gosh. But he lived near the park, so it was okay, I guess.
I'm sure there was a reason.
Nobody ever questioned it. Like nobody. Like I brought home cookies and a bunch of roses. Like, did they think I stole them? I don't know. But I got to make chocolate chip cookies. And like, I adored this old man. I went to his house all the time after that. Until I moved away. And then I don't know his name. He was old. Well, he probably wasn't that old because, like, when you're kids, everybody's fucking old. But he was like fragile. He was shaking, making chocolate chip cookies. So I can imagine he did not live much longer after that.
I feel like just a lot of people, it was just like they just didn't think about what could happen. There was like, oh, I survived, and a lot of them were abused too.
Yeah.
So it's like they're just like,
That's
well,
not surviving.
that's just life. Like that just
Oh.
happens.
I was almost abducted once too.
Yeah, we've talked about it, and it's
Yeah.
like the point is like that's the thing is like that should be crazy, but some people rationalize it as like, oh,
Yeah,
This is a
shit.
life event.
Like, yeah, I got stories now.
like that's insane. Like, oh my god. But most people are just like, oh well, I also was almost abducted.
Yeah, like for
It's like,
bonding.
okay, that's not good either.
Yeah, like no,
that sucks.
we should not be high-fiving. Like that's not what should be happening.
We systemic change, guys, so people aren't abducted. That would be nice.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Some people are not abducted. What?
My earliest memory is being able to afford things, even when I was dirt poor. So, like, even now, like, I look at the price of things and I'm like, I want this, but it's like, I can't justify the price. Like, it's
Yeah.
always higher than I want to pay. So I just say no.
And then
a
you're like, oh, wait till it
loser.
goes lower. And then it doesn't, but
It
it goes the
doesn't go
opposite.
lower.
It never
And you're like,
goes
shit, I should
lower.
have grabbed it when I seen
Yeah.
it. Like,
It's a constant cycle.
yeah.
What?
You're like,
what's
I'll just wait again. And it just keeps
just
going
wait,
up.
just wait. What's insane is that like I have always been against capitalism. Like I'm like, I fucking hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And Kyle's like, you're insane. Like, don't be so insane. Like, come on now. He is way more extremist now than I am. Like the last
Good
like
for
five
Kyle.
months, there's been like this shift. And he's just like, he's joined all of these like Reddit postings. He's like, when I get back from fishing, we're going to take our scale into the superstore and we're going to show everybody. He's like, you're going to make a TikTok and you're going to show that nothing is what it's supposed to be. I was like, okay. Like, no one's going to see it. He's like, I'll post it on my Reddit. And just like, he's like,
I'll fucking share it. Like,
He's so
I've been
mad.
anti-capital since I've known you guys. Like, since
yeah.
before that. And like, I remember like I used to start talking about Marx. And I would talk a lot about Marx. And Chris eventually, like one day was like, shut up. Like, you
Yeah,
didn't
that's
say
what
that.
I used to be too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like even you used to be like more like liberal. So like just like even like I would go crazy. I'd be like and it'd just be like, and like I've always hated Justin Trudeau. That's not a new thing. And just like now it's like at this point, I'm like, I feel so vindicated. Like I was just a little ahead, and when you're a little ahead, you always seem crazy, which is fine.
Yeah.
I probably could have figured out a better way to communicate my ideas. But the foundation was there.
It just been like so quick. And I used to like tell Kyle about Marxism and stuff. He's like, and like socialism and communism. And he's like, no, like that can never happen, blah, 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 blah. And then now he's like, oh my God, like let's just burn the world and start over. I was like, yeah, now you're crazy. Welcome.
Yeah. Chris used to be like, we can't have a communist utopia. And it's like, no one is asking for that. You're actually just espousing like propaganda. Like,
yeah.
the utopia is just a thought project. Like,
yeah,
it's just like
that's what I say.
consistent goal. We will never reach it, but we're constantly like, that's the goal. So we're going to solve the problems as we get there. And that will make things better in life. Just like free markets in capitalism. We never get there. We never get to a free market capitalism because that leads to monopolies and, blah, blah. And we literally have antitrust laws. So it's like, we're not like free markets don't exist either, but we use it as a thought experiment when talking about capitalism. It's like same fucking prospects. Same thing. Different
Same
wording.
thing, different shit. Same
Fuck.
something.
Anyways.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I've always my earliest memory of socialism, like my socialist behavior, like because I'm a huge like human rights person. And now Kyle is there. I've always been alone in my relationship. Kyle's never been on my side. Well, like he never publicly is against me. Never.
Yeah.
He's always rooting for me while we're like talking about it in public. But like now he's just like,
good.
I hate it. I fucking hate Galen Weston. I'm psyched.
That's my fucking motto. Like I'm fucking Kyle for president.
Yeah, that's right.
We still can't have a woman. We're still trying to get all the right.
He's close. Like he's as woman as you're gonna get with a penis.
Yeah, I feel like
good.
we'll transition from Kyle to a woman.
Yeah, easy transition. Yeah.
Yeah. Then switch to, I think it would be good for like have an Asian man try to fix that like anti-China sentiment, like anti-China. Yeah. And then a black woman. Like that's what I think the next presidential order in order to like, and then a black gay man actually after that.
I was gonna say
good.
like a black.
Oh yeah, like sexuality woman. For all of those can
vary gender.
I think they all should be pansexual. Actually, that'll just be open doors. Just even it out. Bisexual.
I feel like Kyle will get there soon. Like if he's like at this part of like against capitalism with me, soon he'll be on the like let's get other people in our relationship. Like it's gonna happen. I think by the time
he sounds so excited.
Yeah,
you're like, oh my god, guys, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Like the once it's ready to be prime minister, his sexuality will be where it needs to be. I will work on it.
He just like, I'll fuck you for a vote. Like,
like get it right. Fucking, and then Allie's handying everybody.
Yeah, he's like, I'm totally open. Like whatever it takes.
Yeah,
fucking for a vote.
I do whatever you need.
We'll end it on Kyle fucking the entire population of Canada to become prime minister.
He'll do it too. He'll do it. If that's a fuck for Kyle is a vote for Canada. But...
I want that on a shirt.
Yeah. Those little Kyle's face. We have those stickers of his face. Yeah. These little chipmunk cheeks and stuff. Perfect.
What's bad is that like they associate Chads with Kyle. So
yeah,
is it? Right?
We'll add Kyle as a write-in the next election. If you're a true opinionated Lushes Canadian fan, you know what to do.
We'll just start it. We'll start a TikTok campaign for him. He has no idea what's happening.
Oh, did you guys see Alice Cooper is running for president?
No.
He posted on TikTok today.
No.
Yeah. Well, you have to be 100 to do it, so it makes sense.
Yeah, he's actually younger than the other two candidates for president, so he's actually younger than Biden and Trump. So, yeah.
Is Bernie trying again? Is he still at it? Oh,
no. Bernie's part of the Democratic Party, so unless he gets past the state, so Biden's currently in his place. Yeah.
I think it should just be his own party. Like, why can't they just have more parties?
Yeah, but he came they always become a little bit more liberal over age. So even he is still protecting Biden.
It's weird. Whatever, Mittens.
So I don't think we have anything to plug other than to make sure to check out our Patreon, where our VIP Patreon Stephanie Hurst is chilling, hanging out, watching our pre-drinks videos every week.
Yeah, we do them weekly.
Yeah, weekly. That's our consistent Patreon content, and everything else is just like surprise bonuses.
Yeah, like woo! Yeah, we have like, I don't know when this airs if stuff will be back to normal, but just in case it's not yet. Eventionally.
It's only like 3 weeks missing. They still get all the back content. So we have newsletters, transcripts, bloopers, tons of shit. So just make sure to check that out. And
yeah, I want to end this on, if you go to YouTube at whatever, like an hour, 9 minutes, Gary, there is my face is frozen this whole time, and it looks like I like touched some poopy or something, and I'm like sniffing my fingers like secretly. Like, you know, when people are like walking by and they're like secretly smelling their hands, and you're like, oh, I wonder if they touched their butt recently. Like that's what it looks like. It looks like I'm a butt toucher secretly smelling my fingers. So there is some YouTube exclusive content, hour 9 minutes in.
And while you're here at YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment. And Sonia's butt sniffing, butt touching fingers.
I want to know, like, I'm sure I'm not the only one who notices that. Like, does anybody else notice people smelling their fingers?
The squint in your eyes is like you like
it. Yeah. And my like nostrils are flared. Like, it's insane. But I'm pretty sure I was just like licking my lips at the time and I didn't want people to see it. But now it looks like I touched a butt and I'm smelling it.
Hopefully it's yours, I guess.
I hope so. Jeez, I don't know. It could be someone else's. I don't know where my hands have been. It's been a long day.
Okay, we'll see you all next week.
Next week. Bye.
Bye.
I'm waving.